Yes, sir.
What's up, guys?
Yes.
This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Shot by a non-Khumalo Khumalo by mistake, as it's alleged. Do you have a response? No response.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We are back again. It's that time of the night where we have to try to unpack. Stay with us because we're going to just deviate a bit. And I had people are saying, hey, you guys, hey, they're using your stuff there. Yeah? Are we that big?
I don't think so.
But then
The numbers are not numbering. I don't think so.
Are they not numbering? But then, guys, it is important from my side to say, welcome back again to this platform. We thank you. This is a platform of public opinion.
Yes.
Here, everything is allowed as long as it is done so with a bit and a lot of allegedly. And we are more reasonable because we are only trying to find the middle part of everything between the law itself and the truth. And the truth is, it shall prevail. That's all I can say. So today, Emily, as I urge our people, we have 85 people that are here. Can you guys please like the video? 92. We are going up. Hello, Antmoyo. I see that you are.
Okay. Love you lots.
We see that you are here, our moderator. Thank you very much for being helpful. And just to make your job easier, can everyone that is here just like the video? And those who have forgotten, please press that like button and subscribe. And those who want to join the membership, I don't know, I would say keep on trying, refresh and do everything. If you're failing, just keep on trying. So today, Emily, we saw a different judge. But before, let us greet.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. You know, here we cover everything Mzansi Reality, real stories, okay? And what has been happening with the Senzo Meyiwa trial is our current focus. And we cover all the court proceedings every day, or we at least try our best to update you guys and give you our opinions. And later on in the show, you know, we open the lines for you guys to call in and also share your perspective about the day's proceedings in court. Now, Mr. Anonymous, the judge had me dizzy today, okay?
It is just to disturb you, Emil. It is worth it to note that today we are 100% on load shedding as we speak right now, as we speak to you currently. So do, I don't know, pray that we don't buffer and we don't do anything, but we are 100% on load shedding. So you can continue then, Emil.
Yeah, we're running on backup. So guys, yes, I was like, Mr. Anonymous, my head is spinning. My head hurts. I think I even posted on the community tab the way I was feeling so stressed. Let's go through what the judge said today, okay? How the judge handled Zandi Khumalo, witness number 1, on the stand. I need for us to start with him first, because I feel like that's where a lot of confusion came in, especially on my part. I don't know about other people, but I saw people responding and some people were saying that actually it's a technique or something like that. But let's unpack it, okay? The judge said there's something that baffles me, is that they put it to you that no 2 intruders ever entered the house. You heard that. And then Zandi said, yes, I heard it. What I will request is that they prove it. Then the judge said, Khumalo went further to say, one of you who were 7 who were in the house killed Senzo. Then Zandi said, that's not true. None of us killed Senzo. And if they have such evidence, they must bring that evidence. So Zandi said that when you follow my lord, one moment they say there were no intruders, and then they ask me about the intruders, which is baffling.
Okay. we are going to take it slow. We're not going to go all out, my lord. Just
Yeah, when I'm
for the
my
sake of-
lord, my lord, I was like, what is going on?
So there are two theories, guys. There are two theories. It's like we're given a paper. Let me start by saying that today, think about the defense as a student that is given a test to define economy in an economics class of South Africa. What are the factors that should determine economy? What are the indicators that determine the economy? So, in that being said, you are not going to get a 0 per se, as long as you have a bit of English.
Okay.
So you'll start by saying South Africa is a country that is what, a sovereign year country. By you just defining that, then you are given a mark. So, but eventually, you need to take out what is important, which is the question of what defines our economy. So in this case, the state, the defense, failed. I would give them a 4/10. You will remember when I said people should not at some point blow their own horn.
Yes.
When Mshololo, when there was a reprimanding that happened previously, Mshololo said, "Not me, my lord.
Not me, my lord. Not me.
Not me, my lord."
What an anticlimax today. Yo.
So I want to ask you, did you get what you were looking for?
No.
And probably the answer is going to be yes
I
or no.
feel like I was left hanging by Advocate Mshololo. I was honestly disappointed. I expected more, man. Kunento shotayo, man. There's something that's missing. And the fact that Advocate Baloyi's objections, all of them were a success. Hi, man.
Okay.
Amen.
Now, let us look at this conversation between the judge now and Miss Lorraine. Mrs. Is it Mrs. or Miss? I don't know.
I don't know
Lorraine.
either.
Lorraine Khumalo. So, the judge here, first thing that he did is to debunk the theory that was already debunking itself.
What's the theory?
The theory, in a nutshell, was very destructive, as the judge would put it, and very assertive. And I will tell you why. The theory is saying that there is no intruder in the house. And then you go further and say, there was an intruder. Without you saying it out loud, by asking questions that are simple, looking at the nitty-gritties that an intruder would have left behind and whatnot, you are simple admitting that there was an intruder, which then Lorraine, there, you should give Lorraine a tick, because Lorraine, for some weird reason, she became a lawyer with her marketing.
What?
She realized that, okay, these guys are asking me questions that are contradicting whatever that they are fighting for. Whoa, Lorraine.
So you
That
are
was
telling me
that was good, unless of course, obviously you had a helper next to you, and that's an argument for another day. And I'm alleging that. I'm not saying that was the case, but your answers seemingly they were more polished in that sense, that they were even looking at the nitty-gritties of this case, looking at the two theories that were put by the defense, which were contradicting each other. One would say there is an intruder. The other one, they say there was no intruder. So by saying that, the theory of there is an intruder, by saying that maybe there was an intruder, but that intruder was disarmed and someone in the house shot shot at our beloved Senzo, then you are admitting that there was an intruder. Indeed, there was an intruder. And then by you saying that, I put it to you that there was no intruder, you are also now contradicting yourself by saying, actually, there was no intruder. I didn't even need to ask such questions that are simple, implying that there was someone in the house that was an intruder and that was disarmed. You know? So that is you saying, so it's like saying that the defense had already admitted that these people were in the house indeed. But what happened is that my client, Your Honor, is not the one who pulled the trigger. Because my client was disarmed. Now you are proving a very different theory. And that's why the judge was, he didn't leave anything unturned.
Well, the judge said, Advocate Mshololo says that it's a fabrication. Can you respond to that? And Zandi responded by saying that when would we have had a chance to build up that story? Because others went out and I was the last to go to Mapiri. And when we came back, we went to the hospital. And when we came back from the hospital, there were police officers at home. I think the police are very smart. I think that by now they would have already discovered a loophole that we were lying.
Now, this is Lorraine debunking the theory that they might have concocted a story that would suit their narrative. By saying that they didn't have time. I didn't have time. So someone who was very busy going to hospital and doing everything. And look at the judge. The judge is just saying, oh, come on, man, Lorraine, just keep on giving it to me. Now, the judge did not do anything wrong. The judge said, if I'm here for the truth. And that's what law is supposed to be. Not the proxy game. You get it right, I get it wrong. Even if you are actually right and I see that you are right, I would still put you in jail because you just said something. Do you understand? The judge is saying that I'm going to lambast these people of defense by being lazy, if you might use such a word, and it's alleged. I'm not saying they're lazy, but I'm just saying that's what I would be thinking inside my head and saying, I'm going to lambast them. But in lambasting them, as I correct them, this is what I wanted. But I'm going to tease that evidence out of this woman easily, with no rush, no harm, no fight. Nice. We are going to agree.
10 to 15 minutes.
We are going to agree. Let us agree. Let us go down, keep on agreeing. If you continue reading, Emily, just continue reading.
The judge said, that's what's baffling to me. Because here are your conspirators. Here are you conspirators, as you say, planning to murder or kill Senzo. You succeed in doing that according to the assertion put to you, and that amongst all of you, 7 of you, 1 of you must have killed him. But then what baffles me is that Senzo is taken into an X6. You are struggling to lift him into the back seat. Kelly comes and drives like a mad person, rushing to the hospital with you. And
that is in a form of mockery, in a sense. It sounded like mockery, exacerbating everything that would have happened at the time.
Not
showing
really, because that's what was said by the witness.
Yes. But no mad was put in there, driving like a mad person. Those are words that are showing that someone is really, in a sense, just teasing out information while making it funny.
Okay. And the other gentleman in the car, you frantically make it on time at the hospital.
Such words, frantically, Continue.
They declared Senzo deceased as he was already been in the wood. But what surprises me is, why would you take all these efforts to save his life after you've succeeded in having him killed? Uzandi what's you, Lorraine? Not exactly, my lord.
Yes, my lord.
Exactly, my lord. Then the judge said, then you take him to the hospital so that he must be saved. Because in other words, what do you do when you take a person that has been shot to the hospital? You want to save his life. Zandi said, yes, it is so, my lord.
Yes.
Then the judge said, and when you get there, unfortunately, Senzo is deceased. Then you all go back into the house where you killed him, all of you. Can you explain that to me, whether it makes sense? And then Zandi said, it also baffles me, my lord. Because they have said a lot that also finishes my strength. that leaves me powerless.
Mm-hmm.
Then the judge said, yeah, because you also testified that you tried to staunch the wound on his chest. Then Zandi was like, that is so, my lord. You know, and the judge says to try and stop or limit the bleeding, because we all know if you bleed from the chest, you bleed to death sometimes. Then Zandi had to, it is so, my lord. Then the judge said, you won't dispute that Senzo was dispossessed of the firearm. And this is where the judge brought in Mshololo with that point that she was trying to have or put to Zandi to dispute that the suspect was in fact disarmed. So that version is mutually destructive towards Mshololo's argument that no suspects ever entered. But there is a mutually assertive and destructive version which is put that one of the suspects who you can't dispute it. You know, it could have dispossessed the firearm and shot Senzo. How do you even explain that? Zandi, it baffles me, my lord, where Advocate Mshololo took that, because intruders entered the house and I was in the bathroom when he got shot. And I was like, Jesus.
Now you see what he's now marinating. It's getting ready. We are just marinating the thing, just letting the person speak and does what it does best, speak, because she's been speaking for many years and saying they are waiting for their time. And
you know why this is a problem? Because when she admits that I was in the bathroom when Senzo got shot, it is a problem as to how you saw who shot him.
No. And let us be honest. She never said I saw who shot him.
No.
So let us continue.
And then she continued to say, when I heard the gunshot that hit him, so the fact that I'm also counted there, I don't know. And she didn't elaborate on that, meaning Mshololo didn't elaborate on that. So if she believes that, I would ask that she brings the proof in court so that we all see that there was someone who took the firearm and how Senzo was shot.
That is law speaking now. Talking about the proof. We need a proof for everything.
The judge showed Zandi exhibits. The first one was a photo of the cracked door, the cracked kitchen door. Right? Then Zandi said that it's from the inside. The judge asked, do you know what caused that cracking? And then Zandi said, first, that cracking was not there all along.
Now get ready. Now we are getting to the cracks of someone who's trying to tease the truth out of someone who's testifying. And perhaps some of these lawyers that are here saying that the judge is old, like Undong, saying that the judge is old and This is the time you learn, because I'm not a lawyer.
Times.
I had to, you know, when I
had to watch it 3 times.
When I was
the first
busy,
time I was pissed.
When I was busy at work, I got a call. I think Emily was watching this thing, and I got a call.
I was so pissed, guys. Even the community post can tell you
she was
how
defeated.
Confused I was
She
like,
was
what
defeated.
is happening? Why does Lorraine sound so confident? What is happening here? My lord, yeah.
Let's continue.
And then she said, but after we came back from the hospital, that's where we saw it.
Now you
so
see?
she is saying that
She's indirectly saying there was no crack when they left. But when they came back, there was a crack in the door. What is that saying now? Now you started by celebrating, right? When you had the first part where the lawyer, where the judge is saying that, in fact, that theory is destructive and assertive at the same time.
Yes.
Basically saying that
it
there
felt
was
like he was on her side.
There
Let's
was
be honest.
There was a confidential, there was that confidence that I talked about yesterday. If you look at assertive, you confidently say something direct and you have that belief that this thing really happened. And that's what kills most lawyers. Now listen to someone who's teasing the truth. Something just came out like that. Was there putting someone at their place there? No, there was no putting someone. Here, it was a casual conversation that was moving smoothly, nothing that disturbed it. Even Mr. Vaselina could not object that. Let us continue.
Well, the judge said, but that door is the kitchen door. And then Zandi said, yes, my lord. There's also something else I wanted to explain.
You see, someone is giving you information freely.
Advocate Mshololo spoke of Kaya Ngache's statement. And then the judge was like, we'll come back to that later.
Don't disturb my train of thought. Let me finish to this thing.
Then they displayed another photo. And Zandi said that the door is damaged. And it's quite obvious that it's new. And I'm like, hey, Banna. What is new, Zandi?
They basically still attesting to that whatever crack that is there, it's new. He said that whatever, that crack is new. You can see that the crack is new.
Then the judge asked what caused that. And then Zandi said, from what I think, it's the bullet. Advocate Mshololo talked about Kaya's statement where I explained how the doors and windows were positioned at my house. As you can see that there is a curtain hanging there. It is not easy for someone who is outside to see what is happening inside. But in my head, I'm like, you know, when the lights are on at night and you only have the lace curtain covering the window and you don't have that other thick one that's on top, you can actually see what's happening.
But did she say that the curtain was a lace? No.
No.
So don't dwell on it. That's what the judge is saying.
Okay.
Don't speculate.
Don't speculate.
The judge here, in fact, what you omitted here is that the judge, after that question, after that answer, she said, then continue. What were you saying? Giving her the platform to give her more so that we can go to the next round.
And then she said, secondly, there is a stop nonsense that divides our neighbor and home. Let's also see how the windows from Kaya's house are. And then the judge said, we can see that the stop nonsense, as you call it, it's a demarcation wall. Then Zandi said, yes, it is. So when I'm standing outside, I can't completely see Kaya's yard. I have to shout because I can't see.
Or Kaya on the other side would have to come out and be out because Kaya, it was assumed that he could not see also on the other side.
Yes, Zandi assumed that he could not see also on the other side. And that is what the judge asked and said, vice versa with him. Can he stand on the other side if you've seen him? If you haven't seen him, it's also fine. And then Zandi said, when he's at his home, he has to come outside. And then I have to be at the kitchen door.
Now, listen to that. This is the most, at this time, you realize this is not going to take us anywhere. This is just a conversation where we are balancing all the points. You could not see. Also, you're saying that speaking for Kaya, that Kaya could not see. We're not going to dwell on the fact, what if Kaya is tall or not and whatnot. Because you are speaking on behalf of Kaya. But in any case, because we want the truth from you, let us let you flow.
And then she continued, like I explained, that there was a small platform that I could stand on so that we could see each other, myself and him. Unless if you can see the stop nonsense, you can see that the more you go down,
it's decaying.
It gets shorter. It becomes shorter. Okay. Now the question here for me is, where is the window of Kaya's bedroom facing? Which part of the stop nonsense?
We could not tell on that because there was no evidence shown. Yes.
Baloyi exhibits. Then the judge asked any questions arising from the letter version that she's placing before the court. Now, the judge was placing this question before the defense counsel, and none of them had questions. It was an opportunity, wasn't it?
Yes. It's even allowing a second chance to this defense. And you know, when you have Cristiano Ronaldo, you know that your team has Messi. You know for sure, you just have to pass the ball forward. Let's go. Messi is gonna do something. As long as you put it in Messi's foot, Messi is gonna do something, And then all of a sudden, they shut down Messi.
They stand up with pride and said, "Nothing from me, my Lord," one by one.
Because they are not following. Also.
Did they not spot the contradiction?
They are not following.
Then the judge asked, the other suspect I want to touch on is about Mapiri. You say she's a direct opposite neighbor. Then Zandi said she is opposite Abokaya. But when you are at home, it's down, but direct facing Kaya's home.
Yes.
Then the judge said, how many houses down? Then Zandi said, just one. Just one house. We have a house that we are facing, Kwangache are facing Mapiri. So that's pretty close.
Yes.
That's pretty close.
One house away.
The judge then asked, you say after the shooting was over, as you say, the first house you went to is which one? And then Zandi said it's Mapiri's house. And where was she standing? Was she inside the house? Then Zandi said she was in front of the washing line because everything we talked about, we were by the washing line. Even her shouting at Ntabiseng or shouting to Ntabiseng, it was easy for her to shout.
Who was also outside.
Because Ntabiseng was in the street.
Yes.
We were close to the washing line.
See, someone is sharing information freely. This is free information. This is manna.
From heaven.
From heaven. You just take that. She's even bringing photo. What? You bring it.
The way in Bega freeing akona Lorraine. Yo, she was so free. Oh my God. Not fighting at all. Volunteering information and gaga. Then the judge said, Mapiri, did she say anything about the incident to you? Anything you can think of? And then Zandi said, no, my lord.
That's a trap. That's a trap.
Then the judge said, you are the one who told her about the incident. Then Zandi said, yes, I'm the one who arrived and explained everything to her. She started panicking and crying. I told her to call the police or the ambulance. She panicked and cried and screamed for Ntabiseng. She said Ntabiseng is the one who was supposed to call the police because she was also panicking.
Now, do you see? What the judge is dealing with is the evidence of no intruder, right?
Yes.
Because these people are standing outside. And as they are standing outside,
they didn't
see anything. They didn't even talk.
They didn't see anybody running down the street.
The question is not.
They didn't.
The question is not, did you see someone running down the street? Which is more like leading question, because anyone who's smart will be able to detect, actually this question is going here. Just by asking, did Mapiri say anything? That is a same question as, did Mapiri say she saw someone running?
Ntabiseng is still standing in the street.
So basically what you are doing there, you are teasing
life
information.
Life is normal outside.
Yeah, life is normal. No one is disturbed other than one neighbor who later we're going to talk about it and said they had noise. Two neighbors, actually. One neighbor, because it's a father and a son. They talk about noise. But at this point in time, what we are establishing is that wherever Mtogo was running towards to, wherever Mtogo was chased to, no one. They never saw no one. So imagine there are two houses opposite each other, facing each other.
Would have seen Togo jump the gate.
There are two houses facing each other. As those houses are facing each other, someone runs towards the other house. It's like I'm standing on whatever line and someone is parked on the street on the same street. It's not like there are two streets. It's one street. If you look at that, there's one street. It's one street and there's a corner. There's a corner on that side. I think that's where they are on that corner side. So the same street, there was a car. Mtogo in that same street, Mtogo was chased towards the gate, which means it's the
in that
opposite.
Same direction.
So a car parked in that place could have seen Mtogo using that gate that he claimed that he used. It is not something that would need you to go to some law school to actually establish that.
So the judge continued on to say, what also baffles me is that the neighbors, didn't they see anyone run up or down the street? Then Zandi said, what I know is that people took statements of the neighbors. As to the contents of those statements, I am not sure. And then the judge, because that is amazing. In the location, a person just vanishes. Abontaba, ebagcwele kanje. Where there are so many gossip mongers.
That's a very, like, we are having fun, but you are telling us almost the truth, because the incident had just happened. You are saying you are the last one to come out of the house running after that incident, just after. So like something that you waited for an hour and then Mapiri had the time to position herself there.
No, man, not even one person who said, I saw somebody jumping a fence, yabokaya, or that type of thing. Nobody saw anything. Then Zandi was like, I think there are people who might have seen them. It's only that those statements have not yet been read in court. So Zandi concluded her statement or her evidence, and she was excused after that. And then the judge said, thanks ever so much for your assistance. And Zandi was still confident. Thank you.
Now, this is the time where you go and celebrate and pop the bottles. But the problem is that what I noticed there is that as Zandi was explaining the issue of Mshololo and talking about Ngashe, there was no writing there. But I definitely saw writing when she was talking about talking to Mapir. I definitely saw writing when she was talking about the door. That is something that eventually we are probably most likely going to be seeing.
Because it's the first time I watched, I honestly am like the people who were like, what is going on? It felt like he was protecting Zandi.
It did. If you are watching this case with emotions, you would miss a lot of
emotions.
things.
I was very emotional. I even got a headache. I'm like, why does it feel like Maumela all over again? I was starting to panic and have chest pains. My BP going up.
I've said this thing here. You are most likely gonna miss a lot of things if you have emotions, if you put your emotions in this thing, and then you are most likely gonna miss everything if you have ego. And ego is an enemy of most of our lawyers. This is a teacher teaching for free from retirement, saying this is how you tease out information. This is how you tease out important points. This is how you prove that actually there was no one that Mapiri saw. These houses are closed. So Mapiri is almost covering both angles. Could it be that there's someone they ran to the park? Mapiri would be able to see that because that street is one street. She was outside. So and it's one house away. So you cannot come and claim that I ran this side and come on. No. Someone even ran almost towards them.
And to me, it honestly felt like, why does it feel like he's giving her a chance to change her testimony? But what I picked up when they had the altercation with Mshololo, when Mshololo was objecting to the re-examination of Advocate Baloyi, when she was like, but he's giving her an opportunity to change some of her testimony. And Judge Ratam Khwatleng really had no problem with it. He was like, so let her change her testimony. It wasn't that much of a big deal to him.
You know.
So that's when I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Let the witness be free.
Exactly. Basically, in a nutshell,
the approach.
Let the witness be free. You know, you let her change, contradict herself. It's okay.
As many times as she
can. As there was a contradiction of hair, of who pulled the hair. It was Mandisa and it changed to friends.
It was the friend.
In fact, before De Novo, it was Mandis.
Yes.
And then from there,
after De Novo, it was the friends.
It was the friends,
and
because
Mtogo
said it was the friends, and then after that De Novo thing, we come back and say friends did that, not Mondays. And then she changes again, and that judge is just, you might think in fact, he's the one who was talking there, the judge. He disturbed that whole process. That, hey, man, this person is changing. And Mshololo didn't pick that thing up. I don't think he picked that thing up.
No, she looked so confused.
She
looked like me. In fact, I felt like, why does it feel like this judge doesn't like Mshololo? But that's not the case. Honestly, Mshololo was baffled just as us laymen. And that is not good.
Yeah. Where is your assistant? Who's assisting you?
Who's taking
notes and doing everything? Why is that person not saying, hey, but this person said 1, 2, 3? You even had time who's
next to you, Mshololo? Who's that person? Because they should have pointed out a lot of things to you.
But basically, in that conversation, I will not even say it's argument. In that conversation between a judge and Zandi,
Lorraine was free.
If Zandi thinks that, the judge just took everything, the last two parts about the door, the other part about we are in a township, no one sees someone running. And then you start saying there are people who wrote statements. Oh, well.
You can't breathe in the location.
Who told you that? In fact, you could have taken it further. Who told you that there are people who wrote the statements here? Did you discuss the case?
Did you discuss the case with anybody prior to?
Do you understand? There's a lot of angles. But what the judge did, he did not pay much attention to what was happening inside, according to the theory of an intruder. And that's what you need to do if you're proving that there was no intruder and your person was in KZN. What you need to prove is that whatever that happened outside, it does not make sense. Whatever happened when people were dispersing and running away, Zandi even saying that everyone ran away, I was the last one.
And at this point, for me, in my opinion, it feels like the judge is very much a closed book. It's unpredictable what his verdict will be.
No, the judge will point you out, will call you out if you are not doing
your
things in the right way. That you must know. He's not someone who's going to boggle it and then go make a judgment just because someone couldn't prove. Yet you could hear, because your job as a judge is to be that third eye and listen to it. What is this person saying? Is this making sense? I mean, if someone says that we left, there was no crack in the door, according to when we left to hospital, we come back, there's crack. What does it say to you as a person? Yes, the defense never looked at that. The defense never teased that information from them. But it's your job to also tease it. You see it in Supreme Courts most of the time where law is mostly discussed there. You know, it's discussion between lawyers and judges. You know, we want that.
So the question is here, was the defense well prepared? If we are being honest, guys, were they well prepared?
You can be prepared for a test, but preparing the wrong chapters, it's also part of the book. Maybe they were prepared, but to see things that way, it is hard. It is tempting to look at the contradictions that are happening within the house, which by no means you should not let them lie there just because you are trying to prove that there was no one in the house. But in that, be careful not to be drawn into the theory number 2 of an intruder while you are saying that your theory is there was no intruder. So how do you tread carefully?
As if they believe that there was an intruder. They didn't focus much on aspects of proving that there was no intruder.
Exactly.
Speaking to scenes of the witness where the intruder is not there. Emphasizing more on that, which is what the judge demonstrated. So I get it now. Hopefully, guys, we helped you if you felt the way I felt.
So the judge didn't do anything wrong.
I was like, yo.
He's a joyful man. He's focused, jokes. But he likes jokes. You know, you can tell it's from this man. And his understanding is based on the experiment, based on the fact that you were born maybe there or you're from there. You kind of know, you have seen the streets of Soweto. You know that for sure, even around this time, probably there's someone walking there.
And it's giving that he's interacted with most people of South African society. That's what it's giving. He understands the township. He understands a lot of people's behavior.
The situation that is explained in this case and what happened in that situation, it's more like an estate where you would hardly see someone walking outside. You know, it gives those vibes. But in the township, you don't expect that.
That first
everyone is taking cover and they're peeping through windows.
Lalela, go busy. You can't just bow in the township. No. Doesn't work like that. I even remember growing up, there was an incident where somebody jumped over the wall at home. I peeped through the windows. I was looking for that person. I don't know what they were running away from, but I was looking until they left.
So you would attest if there was a case against that person to say, I heard someone jumping. If someone puts a theory that person jumped.
I heard it.
Basically, that's what townships are all about.
You don't miss a thing. You don't miss a sound. And that of a firearm, never. So now let's go through Advocate Mshololo's cross-examination that she did this morning. Judge Rata Mokgoatleng started by addressing the heated exchange that happened between Advocate Khumalo and Zandile Khumalo yesterday. This is what he said, and I quote, "I let it pass because I wanted people to think about it. There's no necessity for us to disrespect each other. I expect counsel and the witness to keep the difference, dignity, and decorum of this court."
Yes.
So what did you think about that? Now I was underwhelmed by that comment in the morning. I was like, what is happening? You should simply be telling Lorraine that she's rude and she doesn't respect the court.
Again, that's where you get it wrong. That's where you get it wrong. You see, now, that person is going to be defensive from the word go.
Okay.
You know, ego becomes the problem most of the time. So are you willing to risk that a person does right away? You are setting the grounds. This is what I'm. You don't tell me here. I answer. I ask questions. You don't. You know. I mean, you are creating an environment that is difficult to navigate. How are you going to navigate that person? Because from there, that person simple gives you say, I don't know what. Look, what I've realized. As much as you are trying to drive your point, but let these people talk. Some of the things that you couldn't get when you were preparing for the case, you know, you can stop them if you feel that, okay, they are disturbing the train of thoughts and train of questioning. You want to finish that part of questioning, whatever that you were questioning and those exhibits. Stop them like the judge did. But later, mark it down to say, okay, you wanted to say something. That's when a person feels like, okay, I'm being valued here, so let me give more.
Which is exactly how Lorraine felt at the end, towards the end. That's how she felt whenever the judge was on her side and talking about how this is so absurd and it baffles
It is even difficult for Baloyi to object, because if you cannot object someone voluntarily giving people information. It's their will. They want to do that. They came here to do that, to help the court. So you cannot now interfere now because a person is doing that and you think that is not suiting your narrative. And in fact, if they're saying, by the way, my lord, this is what I wanted to say, you don't even know what they're going to say further, because it's not part of, even if you prepared, what you guys prepared about.
I also felt like, why is the judge tiptoeing around her? It's been a while now, but now I get it. It was a strategy, a beautiful strategy. I have nothing but respect. Wow. Wow. Well, Mshololo took the witness through a post-mortem report. This is still Zandi. By the way, we're just going through Advocate Mshololo's cross-examination. Now, this post-mortem report, it was showing Meyiwa's wounds with a diagram indicating wounds and the wound track. So the state objected, saying that the witness is not skilled to comment on the ballistic and forensic evidence, and said that these issues required expert knowledge.
You see what direct asking question does? It creates the platform for objection. So if I say, was it blue or red? It was red. Or was it not blue? Was it?
Oh, I can't remember.
It creates that platform of once a person says, I cannot remember. But if a person draws a story from their conversation, step by step, you keep on picking things, putting it together, try to align it to your question, wait for them, give them, maybe after 5 minutes, let them speak more after 5 minutes, and then somewhere, somehow, they are going to mention something that you're probably prepared for, and then align that thing with that. After that talk, so is that the case? Do you saw how Mapiri got in that conversation?
Yes.
She brought Mapiri.
Mapiri.
Because everything has been about Mapiri. And then the question that followed after Mapiri, it was an unpredictable thing.
Mapiri was at the washing line standing outside in Kosam.
Let's continue.
Then Zandi said the place where Senzo and the first intruder was standing by the window is half covered by the cupboard and the curtain. So when she ran to the bathroom, she left Senzo facing the door. Mshololo then said wound number 2 is in front of the deceased. Wound number 3 is at the back. Wound number 2 says entrance, which means the bullet entered there, and the wound 3 is the exit. Mshololo insisted that the witness was there and testified to the position of the deceased during the scuffle. So the judge at the end of the day overruled the state's objection and said that the witness should be allowed to comment. No, overruled is it the state's objection? I don't know, guys, correct me. And said that the witness should be allowed to comment. So the diagrams, they showed the bullet entry wound trajectory and the exit wound. So Mshololo said, yesterday I referred you to a statement of Kaya Ngache where he said he peeped through the bedroom window and he saw someone wearing a white t-shirt at the kitchen window. Ngache also said he heard commotion, a loud sound, which was like the breaking of a plate on the floor. He said he had gunshot and saw a male person jumping into his yard. That person said they were attacked. He also said that the person who was seen against the window was wearing a white t-shirt. Khumalo then said, I hear you, Mshololo, and your version is different to that. Then Zandi said, on Kaya's statement, he saw what he saw. I'm here to speak for myself and not Kaya. And as for these pictures, I don't know anything about it and what's happening here. And then Mshololo said, don't rush. I'm still coming there. The witness says the neighbor's son, Kaya, could not have seen in which Senzo Meyiwa stood from his home during the scuffle. Then Zandi said, at home, there are 2 small windows from both sides. The one where Senzo Meyiwa stood with the first suspect is small, half of it obscured by the cupboard. Already there was a contradiction there because what happened to standing by the door? There are also curtains in the middle. There's a door which was closed. Then Mshololo said, is it your evidence when you came from the hospital, you inspected the house? Then Khumalo said, I just threw my eyes around, not in detail. Others were looking for their phones. Then Mshololo asked, you said many people were in the house when you returned from the hospital. What were they doing? Then Khumalo said, I didn't take note. And Mshololo asked, so beyond cordon tape, you found people? Then Khumalo said, indeed, but I didn't know when they entered. Was there a gun residue test taken on you amongst all of you. And then Khumalo said what she recalls is that a lot was placed in front of them. Swabs were taken in her mouth and hands. And then Mshololo asked, was there crime residue test done amongst all of you that were present in the house? Then she said a lot of things were placed in front of her.
She's answering without answering.
Basically.
In case someone comes and say residue were taken, that's by asking that way and answering that way, she just left it open-ended.
Yes.
Anyone can come in and fill in the missing weight.
And with gun residue, it was supposed to be taken immediately after the incident, before they changed clothes, before they bathed, before any of that happened.
Yeah, so you asking direct about gun residue while you are told that these people, they were just asked questions and then they went to sleep.
Yes.
Your line of questioning should have been maybe on that, can we confirm that maybe at night during that time of being busy, nothing was taken in terms of blood and everything else?
Yes, that night in particular. Because that's where you would have found your gun residue information.
Exactly.
I doubt they took it the next day. It was going to be pointless. Then Mshololo then asked,
more so if they bath, just to be
if
specific,
they
yes.
bathed, yes, and changed clothes. So Mshololo, on a statement of Edward Klope, who deposed a statement, Mshololo asked, do you know Mlungisi Edward Klope? Then Khumalo said, I don't know him. The state objected to the line of questioning, saying that it was hearsay evidence. So Mshololo said that it wasn't hearsay, and she wanted 5 minutes of adjournment to bring an application. Now remember, Klope had said in a statement that Tumelo Madlala told him that Meyiwa was shot while trying to intervene in a fight between Zandi and Longwe Twala. So this is that one before De Novo, who was said to be Senzo's brother-in-law.
Look, what the question who could have been, and I stand to be corrected, during that process of all this happening, do you recall perhaps Tumelo calling? Because all you want to do is that there was a call that Tumelo made.
What was you saying?
Asking for a cell phone or asking for something. Did Tumelo ask for a cell phone or something just so that maybe he can make a call or something like that? And leave it at that. So that you create the platform for the one who's going to come and testify and say, okay, Tumelo called me. Then that would have been corroborated by Zandi or anyone else.
So you are saying that they are struggling to lay proper foundation before.
Sometimes that foundation is for the future. They want to eat now. If they get a bone or something, some food, they just want to finish it now. And sometimes you're finishing it at the wrong person.
The aim here is to extract as much information as you can out
Yes,
of the witness.
so that you can use it to those who are still coming. So if you are going to come and say, Tumelo said that 1, 2, 3, you have just cancelled the person who's coming because they can debunk that person.
Which is what's kind of happening even with this one. I mean, Advocate Baloyi was head on to say that it's hearsay. Mshololo brought an application.
That's basically debunking that.
To provisionally lead hearsay evidence for Zandi Khumalo to comment on. And it is in interest of justice that Mlungisi Edward Klope's statement for it to be allowed. And the state said that this must be rejected. Klope will be called.
Please, guys, let us like the video and let us share the video. I see that we are on 200, we are on 867. Please like the video and let us share the video. Emily, continue.
Judge Ratamukwatleng said the interest of justice won't be infringed as the witness will come and testify, and rejected Mshololo's application. So Mshololo cross-examined Zandile on the drawing on the identity kit, and the description given to Colonel Steenkamp of suspects did not come from you, Khumalo then answered by saying, Steenkamp asked me to look at the diagram and make adjustments to it. Then Advocate Mshololo, but you assisted on the description given by others. And Khumalo said, yes. In other words, the description here about the suspect did not come from you. And then Zandi said, I was asked what it was and what I could add or make adjustments. I responded that I couldn't comment on I could only comment on the eyebrows and eyelashes, but I confirmed that it was indeed him. Guys, do you remember that sketch though? That sketch looks nothing like accused number 2. So if she confirmed it,
But again, guys, I mean, that's what I'm going to say. How then, I feel like I understand, Judge. How do you fault Kaylee or fault Zandi for that? If we are going to dwell on the sketch, how the sketch
actually,
looks.
she said she could recognize them.
Yeah. She's not the one who drew the sketch. She might have said, yeah, it looks like that. Even your kid can draw some Popeye here, and then you say, this looks like Daddy. Does that mean that
But
it really looks
why are
like
you agreeing
that?
when it looks nothing like the person you saw?
All I'm trying to say is that it doesn't help us looking at a drawing. We are not artists.
All right. Then Mshololo asked, Steenkamp said in a statement you couldn't describe the second suspect. Then Khumalo said, I said it's him. It's complete. He's complete. Not that I could not describe him. At JP police station, you pointed someone out who turned out not to be the person who committed the crime. Your first mistaken identity. Then Zandi said, what do you mean mistaken identity? Because I never said it was him, but that there were similarities. Mshololo referred to a statement by Khumalo in 2019 which said that she pointed out someone. And Khumalo said that you must call the person who wrote the statement because I didn't point out anyone. I said that there were similarities. Mshololo then asked, I do understand what you are saying here. The form here says you indicated someone. Then Zandi said maybe he should be called to comment on what he wrote there because I even said there were similarities. Even when I left the room, I knew it was not him. Now looking at the pictures of the people in the ID parade, which Khumalo and others attended. When asked about the height of the suspects in the ID parade, Zandi's tone changed, saying that she can't see the height from a picture. Okay, and then Advocate Mshololo pointed out to her the person who was short and the other one who was tall, and Zandi said that she was referring to suspect number 1. So Advocate Mshololo here punctured here also there was an empty.
There was nothing to probe on.
Ish.
There was nothing to probe forward on. There's nothing.
Ish.
Sometimes it does happen. I'm not going to say you are going to be perfect. It does happen. Sometimes if you prepare and you think, you sort of anticipate a certain answer. And then someone gives you something that sort of takes you off. And this is such obvious. You are not in this person's mind, but you are trying by all means to anticipate whatever that can. So you can fault her for punching at that time.
Mshololo then took Khumalo through the interview she did, the TV interview, ENCA interview that Zandi did last year when the trial had already started and it was played again in court. Mshololo said that she has a couple of questions from that interview, and then Judge Rata Mkhwatleng asked what is the importance of the interview being played, and the state said that it is merely the view of the witness. The sub judice rule was breached. Okay, so Mshololo then said, I want clarity. When you said half the time they were wearing masks, at which stage were you referring to? Khumalo then said, when they were appearing in court. Then the judge says the defense cannot say that there was no acrimony between Mandisa and Kelly. I'm like, acrimony now. Isn't that the name of the movie? What is the acrimony is going on? I was like, the judge said the defense cannot say that there was no acrimony between Mandisa and Kelly after evidence was led that Mandisa had pulled Kelly's braids out at the hospital after Senzo Meyiwa was declared dead. And then that's when I was like, Judge, what is going on? Because de novo is not the version that this witness put forward. What is going on? I was like, Zandi Dinovo said Mandisa is the one who pulled Kelly's hair. He put words into Zandi's mouth, and then Zandi took it and ran with the narrative, okay? She ran with it now, and she completely changed her previous statement where she had said it was Mandisa's friends. Now she's saying Mandisa is the one who pulled Kelly's hair. And one thing I can say is that there's something there. I don't know, Mr. Anonymous, how you feel, but there's something there. Something is fishy there.
This is a time where the judge got it wrong. He might have got it right or wrong.
No, he got it wrong.
It took one theory. Remember, there are two theories. There's always two theories in these things.
Okay.
So you take one theory, and then I think that is what set in the judge's. By you bringing or reminding the judge that this person has said 1, 2, 3, but Mshololo didn't show that he sort of saw that loophole.
All right.
So it flew with Zandi, and it took it.
Hi, she ran with it. It's like she had been waiting. If a judge is saying it, I'm going for it. Yes. Mandy says the one was fighting my sister and pulled her hair. I was like, you. So the TV interview played again in court from where Zandi was accusing the police of fishing in one pond. And Mshololo asked about the isqito, and Zandi said that she had heard it on the documentary, the very same documentary that she claimed to not have watched. But again, Mshololo then said, I wanted clarity on the mask issue in the interview. And then Zandi said in the interview, you say the accused, okay, that's Mshololo, you say the accused were wearing masks.
Thank you, Nomakuku Ndlovu, for the donation. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so Mshololo said at the time of the incident, were there anyone who was wearing a mask? And Zandi said no. I put it to you that the 5 deny the allegations, that accused number 5 denies the allegations that he was never there. Do you have any comment on that? And then Zandi said, as I explained, I saw 2 people who entered the house. As to how he is involved, we can leave that to the police. Then Mshololo said, I have no further questions.
Like, maybe the question should have been, since you are talking about it, did you see accused number 5? Simple as that. And then Zandi would obviously would have said no, because they only know 2 people.
On that, narrate what accused number 5 was doing on that day. What's wrong with that? Tell it to the witness that that's what he was.
Yeah, and then after that, you definitely would narrate. You are right. Probably start with you are right when you say you didn't see accused number 5, because accused number 5 was doing 1, 2, 3 at this time at 1, 2, 3. So there are many ways of skinning the cat in a sense.
And what I also observed is that I feel like Advocate Mshololo has this thing of not wanting to upset the judge. I don't know. I picked it up with the previous presiding officer, and now I'm picking it up with this one. As the court pleases.
Look, I don't think that is the case. It talks to your preparation.
Okay.
The more you research about something and construct something of your line of questioning or whatsoever, then you feel more confident. So when someone is objecting certain thing and you know that you checked that this thing is not gonna be tiptoeing on the wrong foot or something like that, you are bound to come back with an answer. You know, that's what research does. But if you hardly had maybe that time of preparing, so when someone is objecting, you need 5 minutes to go and peruse to say what exactly, how can I come back? And 5 minutes is not gonna push away Baloyi. You know?
When she came back with a flat tire. It was not giving anymore.
So you are coming back after you were given time because you had a problem of continuing with that. You come back and you still, the judge just throws you off in a sense. He's just saying, he shuts you down because maybe rightly so in a case, it was rightly so done. So from there, you are already getting used to losing some of the things. So you lose your momentum.
Now, getting to the re-examination of Advocate Baloyi, he started off by reading a Longwe's SMS. I'm outside. Advocate Judge Baloyi re-examined counsel and said that the counsel put it to you that you are protecting Longwe. And Khumalo said, I have no reason to protect Longwe. Baloyi asked to read another message from Longwe and contextualize it. The SMS said, are you on the stage yet? She responded, can I sleep over at your house tonight? Baloyi looks at messages between Zandi and Longwe where she referred to her as Sunshine. Yes, but because Pat is here, can we chill at Kelly's house until they sleep? From Zandi to Longwe. At the house, can you come to my house now and then we will chill there and leave to your house later? From Zandi to Longwe. Your mom's Zandi. This is Longwe. Yep, Zandi responding. I'm coming, Zandi. Okay, my baby. Zandi, how far are you? Longwe, 10 minutes. Zandi, okay. So according to Baloyi, it ended up in that message with him saying, I'm outside. So in my own little head, I was now wondering, why are we being read all these SMSs? They are pointless without timestamps. Okay. I need the timestamps.
Yeah.
I need the plus 2 hours. Do the calculations. What's your problem? Why are you giving us SMS? They could have been from 2 weeks back, from last week, from last month. We don't know that. We don't see that.
This is the time where you also frustrate the process, because Baloyi uses that chance all the time. Frustrate the process too by saying,
where are the timestamps?
I feel like we are continuing using this information in a wrong way.
What if this SMS were sent 2 weeks prior?
The same way Baloyi is frustrating them. Frustrate him. Because he was there to debunk what you already have created by
plus 2
showing
hours.
that SMS at
Do
that
the
point.
calculations. I want you to lie on the record so that when the cell phone analyst comes here and corrects all of that, we have it on record that you were added to. We were busy calculating for your witness. Then Baloyi said, how do you characterize the relationship between you and Longwe? Khumalo said, our relationship didn't last, but at this point we were in a honeymoon stage. How would you characterize your relationship? Okay, honeymoon stage. Then Zandi has clarified that she ran to the bathroom after the first shot and that the second and third shots were fired while she was in the bathroom.
So
Mshololo raised an objection today that Baloyi was leading the witness by making her change her statements. And the judge saw no problem with that.
yeah, it must be on record. It was okay by the judge saying that I see no problem, but it must be on record that she's contradicting herself. And there's nothing wrong with that.
So after the re-examination, the state said that the witnesses who were in the house can only be available next week. Witness number 28 was then called. It's giving that they really don't want to call the people in the house, isn't it, at this point, guys?
Or perhaps we are reaching 90 minutes time and the only thing you can do is to time waste so that you maybe create and find them the rooms, if you get me. So they are still finding them the rooms, bringing them from wherever they are, stuff like that, preparing this whole thing, and then so that they are comfortable, and then when someone has a room, they are comfortable, and then they go to court. That's basically my thinking. So what with this witness now that has been called into a stand is someone who does not need preparation, no room or whatsoever. I think is still in Joburg, stays at home and stuff like that, That's my thinking. Yeah, that's my thinking. That and you can there are contradictions that are happening already here.
Hi, let's get to them. The second witness, Kaya Ngache, was on the stand and he was made to swear on a Bible, so help me God. And his full names are Sterling Kaya Ngache, and he took his oath. So he had a mask on, and the state prosecutor asked him to take it off. Kaya is being taken through pictures depicting two houses, one of which he says it's his family house. Now, he said the the bedroom is on the side of the Khumalo house. His bedroom in particular at the time was at the side of the Khumalo house. He said that his father passed on the 10th of June 2023. Then that's quite recent. May his soul rest in peace. For those who don't know, he was actually supposed to appear as one of the witnesses. And he also appeared on the Netflix documentary, giving a portion of his side of the story of what happened on that day. And to find out that he passed away during trial.
Hey Nora, I see your comment. I would like to give credit where it's due, Mr. Anonymous. You're objective and you are emotionally intelligent. If you don't mind, that's flattering. I'm not a lawyer, but look, you have WhatsApp and you probably have the number. You can get in touch. But, in terms of emotions, I've learned the hard way.
Yeah, me too. But I'm still struggling. I'm a woman. Emotions are my weakness. But yeah, they do sabotage sometimes.
So just because I've looked at the comment, Togozi Silanga, you must not agree with the sketch. It does not look like a person. That's what I'm trying to say, is that yes, it might not look like a person. But how can you fault Zandi for that? Why don't you wait for the right person for that? You know, I'm not the one who drew that sketch.
But I get Zandi. I know this person. I know. She should have said, no, this person doesn't look like the one. Start over. Start afresh. Let me tell you what they look like. I get it.
Well, it is there. It has some blackish things in it. We've seen in the hoodie. So people are sitting there. How is that going to help defense?
Baloyi then said, where do you live? Parental home, Ngache, Force Loras in Mzamo section. Right now, he said he resides in Germiston. So Baloyi then asked, do you know the Khumalos? And Ngache said, yes. Do you know the previous witness? Then Ngache said, yes. And Baloyi asked, how far did you live from the Khumalos? And Ngache said, we are next door neighbors. Baloyi showed Ngache a picture of his parental home, how his home was separated from the Khumalos. And then Ngache said there is a wall separating two houses. So Baloyi asked, where is your room located in relation to the Khumalo house? Ngache said it appears in the middle window. Ngache confirmed to the court that his father Leslie had passed away on the 10th of June and he was on the witness list. So on the 26th of October 2014, an incident occurred. Do you remember it? Ngache said yes. On that day, it was a Sunday. My brother Bulelani and I went to a concert and we came back in the evening. I can't recall the exact time we got into the house and I went to my bedroom and he went into his. I was in my bedroom preparing to go to work. Then I heard some unusual noise. I opened my bedroom door and heard from my house there was some noise. Could you tell where the sound was coming from? Asked Baloyi. He said, I stood up from the bed and proceeded to the window. I pointed out on the picture as I opened the window. My window is opposite the small window of the Khumalo's kitchen. Baloyi showed Ngache a picture of the Khumalo's kitchen window. Then Ngache said, this is the window diagonally opposite to my bedroom window. So Ngache then said, from my window, I could see a person wearing a white t-shirt standing at the window. I pointed. He had faced into the house with his back against me. There was some noise, so I went outside my room. I met my dad and we went to the kitchen. As I walked out of the bedroom, I met my father in the passage and we proceeded to the kitchen. We exited the house. There was a young man that jumped the wall that separates our yard from that of the Khumalos. I'm not certain as to whether he jumped the wall where I pointed. I know our gate was locked and he had jumped. if you say the gate was locked, asking Baloyi now, which gate? Ngache then said the gate in the front, even went too far to say the small gate. So Baloyi asked, where did you see the young man? Ngache said, I saw him inside the yard. When we met the young man, we were shocked as to who he was. What time was it? Asking Baloyi. He said, I couldn't remember, must have been some time after 7 p.m. I actually saw him inside the yard, pointing to an area not far from the gate, according to those who were in court. When we saw, we were surprised because we didn't know him. I'm not sure about the time, but it could have been after 7. When we met him, I was in possession of a steel rod. When I saw him and we confronted him, and I lifted the rod with 2 hands. When I did that, he cautioned us and indicated that he's not the one that should be accused. We asked him, what do you mean? He implied that there was a problem that transpired next door. We then left him alone because we were confused as to what happened. He then jumped back into the Khumalo yard. When he jumped, I also decided to jump, but my father stopped me. My father said he heard what sounded like a gun. I no longer went to the Khumalos and I went to my brother's room. Ngache then said, I informed my brother that there was some trouble that took place. We went out the house, my brother, father, and I. There was commotion. There were screams. Neighbors were outside. The initial noise you heard when you peeped through the window, can you describe it? Asking Baloyi. Then Ngache said commotion appeared as people were pushing each other. What caught my attention was the sound of a banging door. Now Baloyi asked, is it the only noise you heard? Then Ngache said, as I was in the passage, there were various sounds. I couldn't tell, but I heard the sound similar to a teacup that was breaking. Then outside, something to the effect that there were people who ran down the streets was heard. So we went with some of the neighbors and down the streets. So Kaya says, together with some neighbors, they searched for the alleged intruders. We rushed down the street, rushed to the park, which he said was like 200 meters away. We got there and got into the park and started searching around the park and couldn't see anything. So when we got there, the park is about 200 meters away. We looked around and we didn't see anyone. So we then left the park and went straight to the Khumalo house. When we got in, we noticed the late Senzo lying down as you enter the house, as if you are proceeding to the passage. When we got inside and we got to the door...
As if you are proceeding to the passage.
As if you are proceeding to the
Not
passage.
in the sitting room.
No.
No.
And we saw the late Senzo lying in the passage. Now, Baloyi asked, where was Senzo lying? Ngache said, at the end of the kitchen. It looks like an entrance into the passage room. Ngache then asked, the first thing I noticed that this person was wearing a white t-shirt, and we noticed that this is Senzo. And then Baloyi asked, did you know him? Ngache said, I had never had a personal encounter with him. Baloyi then asked, how was he lying? He was lying facing up and down. Then we helped each other with neighbors and tried to let Senzo sit up. Then there was talk of him being rushed to the hospital. Baloyi asked, did you notice anything? I just said, I noticed he had a wound on the upper body. Now this is troubling. You know, when he's speaking of the park being 200 meters away, and they still found him in the house.
Yep.
It's
we talked about it. How long did they
it's
take
a long
with
time.
this person being there?
What were the people in the house doing?
How long did they take? So guys, let's press the like button. It's 900 people here. Can you press the like button?
Please like the video, guys.
It's 300 that I see here. 300 likes.
Then Baloyi asked, how was the wound? Ngache said it was a spot or stain of blood on his shirt. Then we took him. He was heavy. How many were you? Then Ngache said he can't remember, but estimated around 5 or 6 people. Ngache said we helped carry him into the BMW X6 vehicle at the Khumalo house. We pulled him in the back seat and the X6 was driven to hospital. Baloyi asked, did you see the occupants? I just said, I can't remember, but the last people I noticed inside the car was Zandi and Kelly. Now, the young man, Baloyi asked, you described as the person on your property. Did you see him when you came back from the park? Ngaje said his mind was disturbed, but he thinks that he was one of the people lending a hand in picking up Senzo. Then Ngaje said, after loading Senzo into the car, I went back home. Baloyi then said, did you see who was driving the car? Then Ngaje said, yes, it was Kelly. When I got back home, I related to my mother and father what I witnessed. After that, we remained in the house for about 20 minutes. We then decided to go to the hospital. What state was he in when you arrived there? No, they arrived at the hospital to see what state he was in when he was at the hospital. So when they got there, they heard that Senzo had passed away.
Yeah.
Then Ngaje said after that, we went back home and that's how it ended. So Baloyi asked, do you know if this incident was reported to the authorities? Ngaje said, I know it was reported. Then Baloyi asked how. Ngaje said that when they got back from the park, someone said to him that they should assist so that they can call the police. Ngaje said, I quickly went into the house and telephoned the police. Baloyi asked, do you recall which number you called? And Ngaje said, I'm not certain, but I think it was 10-111. So Baloyi then asked, at what point did you call the police? Ngaje said, I don't recall. Multiple occurrences happened all at once. And Baloyi asked, do you remember when you called the police? Then Ngaje said it could have been after 8 p.m. So Ngaje said it was crowded with community SAPS. He remembers that they never slept that night. There were also people asking them questions, taking statements. Then Baloyi said, did you make a statement? Ngaje said he did speak to the police, but he's not certain if it was that night or the next morning. Then Baloyi asked, did you make one statement? Ngaje said, I made two statements. The first one was on the night or the next day, and the second one was a bit late after the incident transpired. So Baloyi asked, is there anything you noticed at the Khumalos that evening when you came from the concert? Ngaje said there were two gentlemen smoking next to the kitchen. So Ngaje said, no. We just greeted them and we went to our house. Then Baloyi said, did you notice vehicles? Ngaje said it may have not have been in the day in question, but a red Polo was parked there. Then Baloyi asked, on the day, was it there? Ngaje said he doesn't remember. Baloyi said, what was your state of sobriety on that day? Then Ngaje said, I wasn't totally sober because we came from a concert and had taken a few beers. Baloyi then said, were you drunk or not? Ngaje said he wouldn't say he was extremely drunk. He just wanted to rest. So he's done with his evidence in chief, and Sipho Ramosipele will cross-examine him tomorrow, and court was adjourned like that. So that's a wrap from me, guys.
So, sometimes I feel skeptical asking this question. I would like to get a description of what this man encountered. Just describe, since the entrance, when you saw, forget about what happened in the yard. Tell me what you saw when you saw Senzo. As you said, you realized that was Senzo. Was he talking? Was he trying to talk? Was he breathing heavily? What was the state of Senzo at the time? That would be very interesting. And I see many people saying that this guy is lying. What I sense there is a guy who's really scared.
I also sensed it.
But most of the things that were said there, I don't think they are lies.
And I felt fear and tremble in his voice.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't want to lie.
yes, he is scared for whatever reason. He's very scared, and consider that. I mean, you just lost your father. We don't know the gist of it. Could be.
We would like to know.
We
what
don't know.
happened
We don't
to
know.
his father.
In fact, I wouldn't even put it out here that we don't know. Let us leave it at that. We don't know.
I mean, he comes to court wearing a mask, and the Rona is over. Guys.
Yeah, so that is me. My thinking is that the guy told you most of the information that you probably need, that polo, and the problem is that you're going to need to probe on that, where the polo was positioned, and if you could align that with the date of whatever that happened, that would mean that the polo was not parked inside, stuff like that.
Guys, I just felt sorry for him. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
No,
and my
honestly
paranoia.
speaking, what people don't understand, for me, when I look at this case, it's the most difficult case to be at.
Yeah.
And if you are going to get people who just want to prove that I'm the lawyer, it makes it even harder for you, because now you don't know who's who in the
Please
zoo.
don't come to this one.
Tease the information
let him narrate.
without laying some fears of what, and you do not ask
Get him
questions.
to relax.
I mean, I don't know who came with that theory of you do not ask questions to me, but in such cases such as this one, where
It's complicated.
you are dealing with a lot of contradictions. You do not want to create a wall between you and the person who's testifying.
You don't want him to be defensive.
Yes.
This one, you can't afford it.
Because if he's afraid, you don't know why he's afraid. Now he's not going to be sure who's who in the zoo. You know, be free, be kind, make jokes if you can. It helps. It helps a lot, because once people start laughing and smiling,
And
then they open up to
relaxing.
you.
That would be great. Because, now I heard it.
All
I
right.
was like,
I'm not going to waste much of your time,
Let's
but
open the
mostly
lines.
tomorrow it's all
Yeah.
about emotions. It's all about thinking about these people, what they are going through in this case, also what they might be going through. Just try to be as calm as possible. You are most likely going to get more.
yeah, I agree with that. I second that. So I don't know what you guys think. The lines are now open. You can call us, guys, and tell us what you
Guys,
thought
can
about
we push
today.
this like button? I mean, we're on 400. Why not 800?
Why
Let's
not
see.
800, since there's 800 of you guys watching? I mean, why not? Why not? You know, over here we beg for likes. We are begging for likes. Please like the video. Please minimize a bit.
When you come in.
Don't come out. Don't switch off the screen. Just a bit minimize.
And the
then-
sound.
And then hit that like button.
And subscribe, guys.
And
And
then
also, when you come
hit
in,
that like
please make
button.
sure that your sound, you watching video is is on mute. See?
Yeah, when you call in, please make sure that
Someone
your
on
background sound-
WhatsApp is writing, say there was no intruder. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, sir, how are you?
Ngiyaphila.
Ngiyaphila mfethu.
I was listening. I was listening to you.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. And I just want to say, as much as I'm not a lawyer, but today and yesterday I was a bit disappointed in good defense.
Yeah.
They have a lot of opportunities to apply the three steps, which is to discredit, to introduce, and to bury the eggs. Because Zandi, our president, Zandi introduced two opportunities for the defense, especially the first and the second witness.
Yeah.
Two opportunities to introduce a new suspect.
Yeah.
Zandi said in one of his statements, he doesn't understand why Longwe said the people sounded like foreigners.
Yeah.
Because she is a Zulu girl. She understands the Zulu very well. That's why it's fine. Introduce a new suspect.
Yeah.
Number two, Zandi said, they are not interrogating Zandi.
Yeah.
That is introducing a second suspect. There's not a Zandi that cannot be in the house. I'm talking about introducing a new suspect. Secondly, when Zandi said Mandela is not interrogated, they were supposed to try to say, how do you know who is telling you the information?
Okay.
They didn't.
Yeah.
And also, Zandi said he was teaming or he was picking up the body when they were drinking. But he couldn't tell the number of the body.
Yeah.
And when they were taking pictures, so they didn't take the picture of the person. If the bodies were in the dustbin, was not in the fridge, it means that they drank everything that they had.
Okay.
Okay. That is, she was telling me that.
Okay.
Again, the issue on Contradictory. The issue on Contradictory, we have a statement and something.
Yeah.
Any chance? There is a statement.
No, we haven't heard of such.
It will be a very, very big mistake if there is no statement in Contradictory. Because everything was outside, remember?
Yes.
And if Longwe Twala ran out, Contradictory was opportunity to Longwe. If the two intruders, if they ran out, Contradictory was an opportunity to with what they will keep each fight on food or in car, even when they arrive.
Yes.
Again, I'm looking for help. They shot my brother's girlfriend, they shot my sister's girlfriend.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to have to cut you and then give others a chance.
Okay, that this kind of one.
Yeah.
I pass you on the street and I go to a mother to ask for help. Because I don't get with you very well. So I still go to a mother to look for help. And your mother calls you to come and be the one calling the help.
Okay.
That is my problem there.
Okay. No, that's a good view. Let us hear what others are saying.
Pardon?
Can we give others a chance?
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Zanzi, hello. Zanzi, hello. Okay, Zanzi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anumas, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
And Emily. I don't know, guys, if you have seen this little bit contradiction that I saw.
Okay.
Earlier, when he was narrating the story, he indicated that he came back from wherever he was, then he went into the house, and he was preparing for work.
Okay.
He said that he went to the house, he was preparing for work, and he had this commotion.
Okay.
So secondly, when he was fed up with him, he said he was tired because he was drinking, and the only thing that he wanted to do was go to the room and sleep. So I just wanted to understand, when you say he was going to work, when?
Yeah.
Because it might happen that he came back around 4 or 5, he was preparing to go to work the very same day. So I think our lawyers, they need to probe there so that they can get the answer, because I feel like there is a contradiction there. Someone is tired, he was drinking at the same time, he's preparing for a guard on Gaza.
Yeah, you pointed you pointed it out. Thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Sure. Problem is Zandi practice everything she's saying, but problem is she's going to send poor guys to jail with her lies. That is someone writing on WhatsApp. Let us see what the comments are saying. Guys, you can still call. Zanzi, hello.
Hey, Sanmalani.
Yebo sawona.
Ninjani?
Siyaphila njani wena?
Ngiyaphila.
Yeah.
Mzansi, reality, eh?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I just have one point to talk about.
Yes.
I saw when Emily was introducing that guy, a neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing that I just pick up. I just want to hear your view on this. I thought you were talking about it.
Yeah.
They said when Bobo jumped the gate, and then when he was there, they asked, "But why?" And then he's like, when he was whatever was trying to do with the rock, with the stick or whatever he has in the hand.
Yes.
He said, no, I'm not an accused. And then he said, okay, and then what? He said, no, there has been a problem that way. It says a lot, according to me. Like Emily, it has been, there has been a problem.
Yeah.
So if Bengenabantu, he could have said, no, there's been people, we just been robbed.
Yes.
It's easy to say. But I wonder, it's just so interesting tomorrow what the lawyers going to say about this. There has been a problem.
Yes.
That's the only thing I wanted to say.
Uyibone kahle mfethu, siyabonga kakhulu. Some of these things I just let them be. What I've noticed is that there's someone here who even wrote a comment say that you guys, when you speak about something, you are giving these people ideas. But look, some of these things that one is clear. That one is clear. You're gonna have to look at them and you're gonna have to sit a bit on them. But what I'm trying to say, my emphasis today is that whatever that you might have had yesterday, let these people. Hello, Mzansi Reality. Hello.
Molweni female njani?
Sikhona njani?
Siyaphila nani futhi man ngicebele kudala ku Afroman. Futhi hala ndemvama.
Yeah.
Uma ngene ngithole ngizawushela abanye. Futhi indawo yokuqala benifuna ukuthi noko siphethe icause likajaji. Xa sithi utsotsi ke ngokwenansika ngokwe-loction culture, it's not that utsotsi is. Because that's because every day ujaji ushinda something. And benikhe ndaqala ubamba amazinyo. That's because even le ntetho ithethwayo uba ulongwe uphakamile wahamba waya kulo muntu ephethe isibhamu. Ihintile jaji yathi no, hayi ayisoze bekhona enjani, ayikho into enjani. Yawugqiba ithethe loo nto izolini. And then today, anani noma today, ingathi kweli fight abantu bakhala bangathi hayi ujaji utheni uthengiwe namhlanje. Kanti no, yinto kajaji ndiyakuthanda le ndlela enza ngayo. That's because ufuna nezinto bazikhawuleze. Yebo. And ke ngoistory salomfana lo unansika lo kwangatshe. Yebo. Lo mfana ninyanisile uyoyika la mfana ikhona ingxaki. That's because akakhululekanga. Yebo. Akwakwazi ba ithethe into ayigqiba. That's because akasoze umuntu asibele ejardini kuwe athi no ndim umuntu ayindim umuntu onetyala. And then nibe seniyamnyeka kanjani ngambuzi ba kwenzeka ntoni. You see, that's because bakhutshwe ikhona besiva ba ikhona into eyenzekayo. Then why bangayibuzi kulo lapha? That's why ndisithi ikhona information abaleka ngayo. And unase kumshololo aware. That's because benivile umshololo ba ebesethi ngathi zi 3 statement is more than 2. kodwa i-statement azenzileyo, which means surely somewhere somehow ukhona apha athinte khona i-information yabo ngalo reason yakhe abantu. That's because if uyamamela ujaji kule nto ndithi uhinta something new every day, every day. And if ever unozilandela ezinto azihintayo, that's what uhinte uthi hayi bo elokishini. How can guys elokishini ungakho nomuntu ozawubona ineipe ezawubona uba nabo abantu bebaleka babheka ngathi ya? How can usithi kwinantsika uTownship uyorobha usawuthi imoto zawuhamba ubaleke ngayo? You see?
Yeah.
That's because ngoku ungena apha abantu banithi ndingena nibayi-2. You see? And even imake ndizohamba ngoku, even nale nto bebekhe bathanda ukujadi xa esithi aba bantu besindisa impilo kanantsika kaSenzo, how can babambulale baphinde futhi basindise impilo yakhe? If everyamkapho lejaji bethile okuqala wathi unantsika ukujadi, how can bangaboni abantu bephuma phaya? You see? And then wayidownplaya ngokuthi loo nto leyo hayi bo benimsindisa. So if ever abantu bazawubaleka ujadi masimnikeni ichansi ujadi phaa uliphethe kakuhle lityala, and sezininzi izinto esezibonakala ezirong kwesiqalayo kunantsika le state ezifana nanditshilo ndithi istate asinatyala apha. Enkosi ngeplatform.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Siyabonga.
Thank you.
There's that clip of Tifo.
Yeah, why I played it at the beginning is because I was reminding people how Tifo was questioning. Zansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anonymous, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Hello, Emily.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks, guys, man. I like what you are doing, and you are a great combo. But I just want to comment on Miss Zandile Khumalo.
Yes.
Hey, Zandile Khumalo, man, she's so dodgy. She's dodgy, that girl. And she's defensive. She's very, very, very defensive. When the statement of this later witness, the one that was being examined by Mr. Baloyi, is that he saw someone at the window wearing a white T-shirt. Zandile is saying now, no. At my home, those small windows with curtains, there is no way that someone that is on another side can be able to see what is happening there. You see, that raises question marks. And now when it comes to the issue of the drillables that they were busy bringing there, as advocate Mshololo tried to show the album, he said they drank 3 guaranas. But now there was an instance whereby they went to the shop, not to the liquor, to buy alcohol, I think with 400, and then they got change. Yes. Now Mshololo is asking, where are the cans? She said she was cleaning. Have you ever seen a situation whereby you are drinking each and every after you can just take the things and you go and throw them in the dustbin? Yes. What happened there is that I think what happened there in that house, the people that were there, they shot someone there shot Senzo, and they tried to conceal that evidence. And the warrant factor came. The first thing that you do if the intruders they come or whatever, the first thing that you do, there's 7 of them, you call the police or you call the ambulance. Those are the first thing that you do. You call the police, you call the ambulance. You cry, somebody please call the police, somebody please call the ambulance.
Yes.
And what they did, their act of taking Senzo to the car, to the hospital, I think they're trying to make it a point that Senzo doesn't akafeli lapaya lapaya endlini.
Yes.
Yonke lo nto mayenzeke nayo kofela phile like endlini. I think that uSenzo ithanda uswelekele pha endlini okanye uswelekele endlini. Akasoleka xa isifika pha yandini siphelele. Thanks guys man for umsebenzi omhle. Ngiyabukela kakhulu man. Inkosi kakhulu.
Thank you very much. Emily, you wanted that video. Let me just continue playing it, and they hope
that my lord.
Angampendulo-ke kushoyo ukuthi-ke kunofakazi owabona ozosho ukuthi-ke uSenzo Meyiwa wadutshulwa uyena uNonhlanhla Kheli Khumalo ngephutha.
The same eyewitness will further testify that the firearm used to shoot Senzo Robert Meyiwa by Kheli Khumalo came with Longwe Twala, and the firearm is a revolver. Any response?
No comment on that.
The same eyewitness will say all these efforts of removing the body from the scene to the secondary scene, that is the hospital. It was all about the furtherance of concealment of the murder of Senzo Robert Meyiwa by dumping him at the Botilong Hospital. In essence, as I said yesterday, it was literally just to go and dump him at the mortuary out of the hospital, because the people in the house, they knew already that he has passed on. And it was further, as per will be related by the eyewitness, saying that all these efforts were done to avoid the relatives or the friends or the people known to Senzo, in particular, that day, as Senzo Robert Meyiwa was supposed to go and attend the birthday party of his colleague, Mr. Roy Mahamudza. So, what was avoided? They were avoiding for the Pirates players to come to that house. Instead, they deem it fit for them to go and visit Senzo at the hospital, as he was.
You remember that that argument of saying that theory of saying that Senzo could have at the time had passed away in that house.
I mean, think about the 200 meters walk to the park.
And Tifo was putting the questions in such that then to avoid these soccer fans, soccer players who were there in Roy Mahamudzo's party from coming into that house, then they took him to dump him at the Botilong Hospital. That was a theory that Tifo was canvassing.
And isn't it amazing how he did not even entertain the theory of the intruders?
Mzansi, hello. It is very interesting.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, sir?
How are you?
We are good, sir. How are you?
Good, you are speaking to Bong.
Yeah, Bobo.
You know, this case is frustrating, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what is frustrating about this case? If you can hear my background, there is a beach making noise as we speak on night shift. I'm working as a paramedic. Man, sometimes we come some very disturbing incidents on my field of work. We even had car accidents. When you hear on the news there was a car accident, someone was pretty close to get dead on the scene. You will never find that person being called on the first hour. You will never. I'm talking from experience. That's my feeling. The moment the friend was starting to feel cold on the first, that's when she gave herself away. Friend was dead by the time they put him on that BMW. The thing you just played now, of course, is exactly our experience. You can if you have working as paramedics, you can ask any of your friends. Any of it. They will tell you on car accident, we arrive with some people dead on the scene. We rush some patients to hospital. But you will never get called on the first hour. Possibly after 2.5 hours, that's when the person starts to get cold. And no matter, for Mshololo is a liability, man. No matter finished with Zandi yesterday, I didn't pay much attention to Mshololo. And now she's costing the team, man. She's a liability. She was supposed to finish when Khumalo left off. Instead, she gave Zandile lifeline. If you watch Khumalo yesterday, he finished off with Zandi. Today, what Mshololo did, she gave Zandile a lifeline. It's her life, man. That's my experience. I've been in the scene for 6 years, man. I've attended more than 10 accidents, man. You will never find someone cold. When you see on the news that people were declared dead on the scene of the crash, or anything, that person will never be called on the first hour. That I'm telling you from experience. You can ask any of your family members, friends who are working as paramedics. They will tell you the same thing. The moment the person is getting called, it's after 2 hours or hour and a half, 1 hour minimum, 1 hour 40 minutes. But you will never on the first hour. No, man, I'm disputing that. I bet on my father's grave. That will kill your life. Then was dead. Those guys, they were planning the strategy, what they will say. I've been on the field for 6 years. If you watch the route from Cape Town to Eastern Cape, there is always accident. Cape Town, Leinstead, Beaufort West, that's where I'm always around. We come across this situation, man. When it's like people dead on the scene, those people are still hot. What do you mean someone was getting called on the first and you say your sister was driving like a mad person? No, man, this and it must stop anything.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for that insight, actually. Thank
you. Man. That's my 2 cents for today.
Thank you.
For tonight.
Thank you. It's very important because the same question then should be posed as to when you were lifting that Senzo from where he was. When you were lifting him to the car, did you at some point felt that he was cold? You know, just answer that question in passing. If he was not, it's okay.
Was he conscious?
I'm running away from asking that question. Zanzi Reality, hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'm not sure if you guys remember the interview in 2018 when Chico Twala went to Metro FM with Masachaba and More Flavor. He said when he received that interview is there everywhere. If you search for it, you'll find it. Okay. Chico said when he arrived at the house, he found Senzo lying there. He said that on Metro FM, meaning that they called Chico and they waited for Chico to arrive there, which could have taken a long time. Which also matches what these paramedic people are telling us on the show. That Senzo died a long time ago. And it also now goes back to the neighbor how can a neighbor, as a neighbor, I'm being told to call the police and I start crying. If someone says we are being robbed, call the police. I'll call the police. I won't cry. Why did my peers start crying profusely without being told all these, the worst? She was supposed to say, let me grab my phone. But she immediately started crying. That gave it away that she was already told that Senzo had died and the instruction was going in the house. That's why she made sure when she arrived at the house, she does what Zandi told her, allegedly.
Yeah. No, you nailed it there. Thank you. Allegedly, again. Thank you.
Yeah, everything is alleged.
So, do you remember the theory of whatever that happened could have happened around 6. You remember us pondering on that theory a lot, discussing. It all goes back to that theory also. It's sort of supporting that theory of maybe this could have happened earlier than the time that we are given, and obviously it's alleged because we were not there and no one was there. And Tifo, I think, brought that theory. Zanzi, hello.
How are you, sir?
We are good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I was speaking to Siponen.
Yes.
Mine is one. I'm sad to spoil the narrative of all you guys, but Tifo was raising a critical component of this case, which was the political aspect of it. I, for one, still do not trust this judge. I think the first point in terms is that the political aspect was never removed. There are many people who were tainted here, deep and highly connected people who had their hands on the blood, the hands with the blood. So first point in Pintemos that they got specific judges, specific aura, and a specific sense of leadership, which was here to, I see, basically to intimidate the defense. You see how he came with the approach of trying to speed up the case. He wanted to win the narrative of the public that he's trying to conclude this dispute. But in reality, that the pace was going at, he was trying to intimidate the defense, in fact, because after he came, the defense was no longer solid. Because I was in politics for a long time. In politics, we were a principle of saying that if you can't convince the masses, then confuse them. And the only way to confuse the masses is for you to increase the frequency and speed of the lies. So when lies are being told at a high speed, it becomes difficult for the listener to comprehend and dissect what is being said. So if the case goes at a quick pace, it becomes difficult for us. We just hear 2 weeks down or 2 months down the line, the case is concluded, and guess what? The two suspects are arrested and nothing is done. So I still think that I still do not trust this judge, and I still do not trust some few individuals in the defense. And the judge debunked a few cases here. Number one, the one of Ken, which Mshololo was trying to raise, was very, very critical question. Because if the police only found 3 cans there, and Zandile was a frequent up and down person individual, when the intruders came and there were only 3 cans on the table, that means that the people there were then done drinking, you see. And that's point number one. Point number two is that the judge, when he presented the case of the possibility of the people inside the killing Senzo Meyiwa, he presented it only from a deliberate sense, as if they killed him deliberately, then why would they try to cover it up? Not from a sense that it could have been an altercation and it could have been a mistake. So them taking him to the hospital were trying to cover up that it was an altercation. So there's something here, my brother and sister, that we need to look at the political aspect. You might think that we have an emotional approach to this thing, but actually we are right. There is some skepticism that I do have about this charge and some members of the defense team. But let's just leave it to one foot. I don't think anyone has brought the image.
When you say some members of the defense, what do you mean to say there?
One for I'll just name call. Missy for one is too stagnant for me. Too stagnant, too lenient. They bend the judge most often. And I think from Zandi themselves and herself also has a more emotional approach. I think she's been given too much flowers early by the public, so she has a point to prove now instead of a case to win. I'm not sure if you're getting it. Yeah. She has a point to prove instead of a case to win. She's trying to prove herself and she's becoming too emotional. She missed a lot of things she could have asked Zandi, but I think he had. And I think that Zandi provoked her deliberately on Instagram before that Novo case. She provoked her deliberately on Instagram. And when she came to court, she now had a point to prove. Remember, Zandile has a political force behind her. Baloyi are experienced leaders. They have a political force, and it seems similarly, according to people, the president, and all of them who are involved in this case. So you can just imagine that the level of advice behind them, they must not be taken for granted.
It is alleged, everything that you're saying.
Alleged.
Yes.
Alert.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Cool. Zanzi, hello. Why do you have to be having a stress? Zanzi, hello. Zanzi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
We are good.
For the first time.
Yes.
How are you, Emily?
Hello.
Sure. Hey, no, it's a serious case. But I want to look at these things different.
Sure.
So let's look at the people who are in the house. Muthokozi Zoren. Zandi Ren. Chini Ren. Muthoko Ren.
Yes.
Who is left? The mother.
Mother. Oh, and to me, Ren also to the.
Yes.
And to me, Ren also. Only the mother didn't run.
We are not told if she ran too. She could have ran too.
No, I mean so far.
So far, yes.
So it means she's the one that witnessed briefly. Right?
Yes. It could be.
Possibly she's there in the kitchen.
Yes.
No one has placed her anywhere. In the kitchen. Fine, let's leave it there. The mother will say. Firstly, the Longwe pushed and ran away. Right?
Yes.
They pushed two suspects to the door. Where did the other Twala? When did the other Twala exit? Because these people are at the door, and the door now is closed because someone is behind the door.
If I remember, during that time of the scuffle, yes, that was during that time of the scuffle. That's what we were told.
But the two suspects are at the door.
Yeah, yes.
Right.
You're correct in that, sir.
Then the door then closed. Then where did Twala leave? The second Twala, when?
Oh, the first Twala. The first Twala pushed everyone, pushed the first guy.
No, I understand about the first one.
The second one, during that process of fighting,
he passed through the
Okay, fine. Let's go back to the camp.
Yes.
We don't find Hunter's gold.
Yeah.
Remember, Zandi said Korana is very small, more than Haymaker. Okay. Traffic police, when they say you are this amount, it's about that you can drive. It's how many liters?
Was it how many?
Ramosipele had said 3. That's a volume of about 16.5. I don't know. People who work with breathalyzers help us out.
Okay.
Help us out.
Then it tells us that these people, their cerebellum or medulla oblongata is not right. Intoxicated.
Yeah.
If the government can decide that at this level someone has a lack of judgment when he's driving because of this type of milliliter, then it tells us that already these people have been affected by the alcohol that they've been drinking.
Yeah.
That is the other thing. So all this story, the neighbor.
Yeah.
And the neighbor is telling us that no, we're not going to come commotion. Okay. And he said something that Mr. Already talked to. He said, my father said I must not jump into that all.
Yes.
Because my father had a gunshot. Right? Then the father already knew that there is a gun that stuff. Then this one who jumped the horse, says nothing about the robber. Then the lady with the car on the street saw no one running.
Yes. Yeah.
Saw no one.
No one.
We are preempting.
No. You know why I'm saying this?
Yes.
Immediately Zandi adjourned.
Yeah.
The woman will have reacted before because already over someone adjourned upon neighbor.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's normal. Something's wrong too.
You run along.
Then someone comes to you to tell you that we are robbed by the police.
Yeah.
Why would I cry?
Perhaps
what triggers emotions for someone to cry?
I guess maybe she would claim that I know sense.
Okay, fine. Let's go back to the drunk guy, the neighbor. Yeah, the one on the floor.
Sure.
Okay.
This guy followed this one who was running, the ghost that was running.
Mm-hmm.
And after whatever search that they have done, he came back to pick up things.
Mm-hmm.
People who were in the house, they never thought of picking up things. Then how long did it take for them to follow this person who ran out?
Oh, that's a good question.
Then let's go back to me. Not me, Numa, my favorite Numa.
Yeah.
And comes and say there is an SMS that was resisted for also.
Mm-hmm.
Then yesterday, I think that I listened to one of your shows that someone told us about the issue of time, that time doesn't change.
Yeah.
Then if it's 4 o'clock, then we have a clear case of saying the boy, what Chico came 4 o'clock at the Sunday first. Remember the statement from the angel of death came in.
Mm-hmm.
The last night, this guy, Wamujiti girlfriend, he came in angry.
Okay.
That's why when he got in, everyone never said anything.
Yeah.
Because he was angry, possibly came up with his father's house.
Right.
And that's the humiliation for a man to do.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Also because this one is my friend, and I'm the one who must mediate this conflict.
Mm-hmm.
You feel entitled to mediate the conflict.
Yeah.
And in that process, Babaga said more or this one Chico. This one by mistake they shot each other.
Yeah, no, we hear you.
Remember that this gun that they are saying someone has been shot, that it was at police station. Let's take the force saying this is a revolver. It doesn't throw away the cartridges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then a certain police went to police station, stole the gun, and come shot the gun, shot it somewhere and throw in the cartridge within the scene, knowing that they will be able to clean up the mess of the car. Unfortunately, the gun, the thing got back to the car. Then there was a policeman who prayed the department to clean the mess.
Yeah.
Thanks for the night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Yeah, most probably the last person. Can you please like the video, share the video, and enjoy the video, and subscribe, guys. Please, I beg you to subscribe And thank you for the contributions, for those who contributed. Thank you very much. I remember Ndlovu Senemia. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that's my cue, Emily. I close here.
Guys.
Just to close everything, if I hear well, yesterday Zandi said Senzo was about to leave, but they called him to say goodbye.
Yes, they did.
To the mother. It was wrong turn. Yeah, so it was being hello Mzansi. What I heard is that Nati was preparing clothes to wear at work. So yeah, if you're going to work tomorrow, you prepare your clothes today.
He was probably doing it in his bedroom, Val.
Yeah, because that's where your wardrobe is. Following day, that is Monday, correct if I'm wrong, because it was Sunday indeed. Yeah, yes. So that's why I'm saying this guy, guys, just give him a bit of a chance. I felt like he was scared. Yes, I did. Alcohol limit is 0.05. So it's 1.3. I don't know if this is command number 135 or 350
0.05 grams
350
per 100 millimeters of blood.
Can of beer, you are now above the limit. Yes, thank you very much for that side. Okay, I think
she was saying that it will take more than this to get her drunk.
Master. That's it, guys, from me and Emily. Anything?
Hi guys, I have nothing more to say. Hey, I have nothing.
Today I'll let you guys do your thing, man. It was very nice.
I've said my part. That's it. Tomorrow. What happens tomorrow? With this current witness.
Yeah, let's give this guy a benefit of doubt. Let's take a bit of WhatsApp.
And let's
this is gonna be less than 30 seconds. Zanzi, hello?
Hello.
I say, how are you? I'm about to close. I just took you. So can you shoot straight and then?
Right, okay. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. I understand you're closing. I've been listening to the whole entire show. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've picked up, which I use concerning on eyebrows. One, advocate Mshololo, I think she was not entirely prepared today.
Mm-hmm.
If ever she was, the angle in which she wanted to corner the witness, it didn't materialize and work out. Therefore, it ended up on disarming and disorganizing and disorientating the notes and her level of approach. And 10-minute break and whatnot, and she comes back like a flat tire still.
Yeah.
So she gave Emily's friend Lorraine a lot of strength and to punch and to keep it alive. Since we are closing, I wanted to still go back to the current witness and saying on the 10th of June, he did mention that he lost the father and he is showing a lot of uncertainty in his deliberations and a lot of nervousness. There's a lot of things that which we can perhaps maybe pick up and try to connect it. But there's a lot of questionable stuff. He is quite nervous and we're not sure. Maybe the father is it well, death occurs, but now this in record that was one of the people that was supposed to be testifying. So somehow we lost his life. We do not know what really transpired. He's lost the soul, rest in peace. So I'm not quite sure probably that the guy is still in the morning session. It's not really comfortable in the public. Emily was still covered with a mask. So I'm not quite sure. Could be maybe happening, but the level of fear raises to me eyebrows.
Yeah.
And I don't, maybe it's just a coincidence that we lost his father prior or before his turn to witness roll out. And there's quite a number of witnesses. I think there was another police that died earlier on before this case transpired. So I understand with so I'm afraid to drag it longer, but it's always appreciate this great platform. We are always wide awake. Sometimes you like today, I was actually listening attentively, but the part you're advocating, Mshololo, I just wanted to the platform that authenticates everything.
Yeah.
And one enhancement, and we are grateful for the level of your insight, the combo that you are. So keep actually pushing as we keep liking the videos and stuff like that and sharing. Please do not grow weary to dish out the content that which we are dishing out continuously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I can't be that long because I understand today was quite a lengthy one, but we are grateful for this platform.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Mr. Anonymous. Maybe let it be a blessed morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for the humbling.
It's a bye. It's a bye. Hey, people call. Yo.
Hi, one more.
Zanzi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
All good.
Hi, good. I'm a bit baffled really about this Senzo Meyiwa story. You know, we are Africans, right? So if you hear a plate, even a noise of a plate, everyone is outside. So how can they say no one even was outside? It doesn't even make sense. I think they need to arrest everyone who was there and probably give them 10 years. Probably that's when they're going to talk who's actually killed him. That's what I just think anyway.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sweet and short. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Guys, it's a bye. Please, on your way out, like the video. If you haven't, just subscribe. Please subscribe. You're helping us by doing so. Please watch the what we call the videos and watch the adverts. That's what pays us. And those who are willing to help, thank you very much.
And also like the video. Now I beg for likes. Like. Until the next one, it's a bye from us, guys. Thank you so much.
So that was the gist of yesterday's conversation.
All right, so rightfully so. Chico Twala reached out to the SABC and he rightfully would like to be given a platform to respond, and he joins us on the line. Ndate Chico, welcome to The Drive.
Much more flavor. Good day.
Thank you so much, sir. So, firstly, just for clarity's sake, Ndate, are you speaking on behalf of your son, Longwe?
He's 33-year-old. I can't. I want to speak about my firearm.
Oh, okay. All right. So just so people know what we're talking about, in case, you didn't hear that part yesterday or you haven't seen the allegations on social media, it is alleged that Chico Twala's gun went missing right around the time. In fact, it's alleged that you had admitted to the media that your gun went missing around the time that Senzo Meyiwa was shot. Is this true?
Before I respond to that,
Come on. Someone
let me
is
just
calling.
start by saying, like any father, I will also feel the same pain that Senzo's father felt. And also, I think because of the cops not doing enough to find the culprit, I think this reaction is not the right to actually blame anybody about Senzo's murder. It has taken the police to, even today, his murder hasn't been resolved. Go back, Maskaba, and he befriended, at the time, Longwe was not involved with younger sister.
Okay.
I think they had a relationship, Longwe was not
involved with Zandi Khumalo.
Yeah, Zandi.
Yes.
And Longwe, the Zandi, then they became, they had a relationship. Then that's how now Longwe started actually moving around the Senzo, the Zandi, the Bali4. So, I mean, they're adults. I have no control over Udlako 4 ways, not Udlako Akor. You understand? And my son, Kimona only, I don't know Kimona after how long. I never can look at Kimona, but Nagwadlali Kedi, Kurbai sang what I don't know. Hence, I'm saying that my firearm always with me. My firearm, Machaba. I bought this firearm 1989. If I'm not mistaken, 89. I've been having this firearm since 1989. I saw even a single like soccer to Tunyamotu or the sharper holding shot. It's always in my safe.
It wasn't missing around the time of Senzo's death.
Come again?
It wasn't missing around the time of Senzo's death. It wasn't.
It was not missing. You know, Machaba, to be honest, I don't know where this comes from. Let me tell you. When Senzo, I received a call. I was asleep, Kunkun. I received a call from Kelly, crying. I was they shot Senzo. I rushed out of my house because that day, when I rushed out of my house, driving to Fort Loras, I found Kelly, Longwe, and another guy, Barkichonia Senzo. Senzo went to pick up this guy from there. It's his childhood friend. Senzo went to pick up this guy somewhere, I don't know where. So, you understand? So I found them there, and then Senzo was lying there. And I asked, what happened? They said, no, 2 guys came in, and they wanted to rob them, whatever, and they shot Senzo. You understand? So that's the information I got. I don't want to talk on behalf of Longwe. Longwe is an adult. Maybe you guys will have an opportunity to talk to him. But I want to talk about my part. You understand? So now, after that, you know, I phoned Dr. Kota on my way to hospital. I phoned even Jasmine, a lot of people that Senzo has been shot. You know? And I mean, to be honest with you, I knew the boy from my place, a very nice person. I don't care what he's my son, yes, but if he had killed Senzo, and then it was him and I suspected, I will tell you, I would have pushed for him to go to jail. I did that before. My uncle did something in Bryanston. When I came up also, his name is Mapoto. He did some terrible thing right in my street. The police were looking, they suspected, and then I interrogated Mapoto until Abu Anit. He served 10 years.
All right.
I actually, you understand? I can't do that.
I mean,
really.
to the point, just to jump in the Chico, for the sake of time, to the point around the allegations. I mean, there were some very damning allegations on social media, I think a couple of days ago, and they've obviously been doing the rounds, and they point out to a number of things, including the allegations that Senzo Meyiwa made around Longwe being the person who pulled the trigger. What's your response to that?
Yeah, guys, I think that's it from me. I'm done. Thank you very much from a person who sent this.
Thank you for that recording. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a bye from me. Please subscribe, like the video. I think we have compiled everything that you've been asking for. Thank you. And just bless us with your subscription, like, anything that you can. Thank you very much. Bye.
Please send me that recording.